Gosh, why can't you just do one, then the other? Yeah, whatever. I'm gonna check on Sayori. Screw you. It's a tough call, but I have to be there for Sayori if she needs me. We've been friends since elementary school. If something was up with me, I'd want her to be the first to check up on me. I'm sorry, Natsuki, but I promised Monica I'd check up on Sayori. She was absent from the club again today, and that worries me.
Monica? Sayori?
She repeats their names, and she starts to wear a look of concern on her face.
Fine.
She spits the word like acid, and I instinctively recoil.
I'll try to talk to Yuri myself then.
I open my mouth to counter, but Natsuki has already turned on her heel and is rapidly heading out of the clubroom, leaving me and Monica behind. I glance at the other person in the room, and she gives me a puzzled look. Oh. No, that's fine. I thought I saw something. I'm gonna just get my things and then go check on Sayori. It's unbelievably awkward. It feels like I made the wrong choice. But I know what is best for Sayori. It's my job to take care of her. Always has been. I discreetly rush out of the classroom. Why don't you just, text her? Or call her? After a few minutes, I arrive in front of her house. I take a deep breath and enter her house, then walk to her bedroom. Sayori? A slight moan lets me know she's here. I go towards her bed. She's atop it, resting. I don't want to approach her too abruptly. Hi, Sayori. How was your day? After a small pause, Sayori turns around and sits up on the edge of her bed.
Alright, I guess.
Well, it doesn't look like it, considering you didn't come to the literature club. Sayori looks down at her feet, embarrassed.
Why would you ask that?
Well, if you couldn't tell, I care about you. A lot. Sayori turns away from me and looks out her bedroom window.
I thought you already knew why.
Am I supposed to know the answer? I probably know what's wrong, but we'll play dumb. I actually don't know, Sayori.
Oh.
Or at least I don't remember. That's why I'm here.
You can't know me perfectly. Right? What?
Let's get serious here. Sayori, I really care about you. I need you to tell me what's the matter. It's important.
You know, Hallie, there have been some things I haven't told you. About myself. It wasn't so much of an issue before, but lately it's been getting worse and worse and worse. I've even thought about sad things.
Why? Why didn't you tell me before? Does she not trust me? I can't fathom the thought of not being trusted by her, but then again, I shouldn't jump to conclusions. I should just let her finish.
Are you okay, Hallie? I hope I'm not boring you with my...
No, you're not. Please continue.
Right. Well, the thing is, Hallie, I've been dealing with really bad depression since, well, for a long time now.
Sayori pauses briefly as if to give me a chance to react, but it's hard for me to take it. I mean, how does one viably react to hearing something like that? To find out that your bubbly, sunshiny childhood best friend has been dealing with something like this for so long. It's a hard pill to swallow. Sure, I've noticed Sayori hasn't been all there as of late, but I never expected something this serious to be the root of it all. Sayori gives up her attempts at getting a reply from the apparent mute standing in front of her and continues to speak.
I'm impressed with how well I've hid it from you until now. Admit it, because I would be too. But recently it's been harder and harder for me to keep it locked away like I would. And I think a big reason for that is... well, it's because of you and Natsuki.
What? I managed to produce words for the first time in what feels like many minutes, and that's all I have to offer. For some reason, I feel a heavy sense of embarrassment because of this.
Seeing you and Natsuki together is probably the most conflicted I've ever been in my life. Don't get me wrong, I mean, I'm so happy to see both of my best friends so happy, but every time I see Natsuki holding your hand, or seeing her hug and kiss you, even just seeing you sit on the floor with her, resting her head on your shoulder, reading manga together.
Sayori pauses like she's afraid to continue this thought.
To me, Hallie, all my life I've thought of you as my special what if. As we grew up, I would think to myself, what if Hallie and I started dating? What if Hallie and I got married? What if Hallie and I had a nice house together? And that what if stuck with me up until I got you to join the literature club. When I introduced you to my clubmates and we started getting close to Natsuki, I realized that I might miss my chance to act on my what if. But when that happened...
Sayori starts sobbing lightly, then feebly falls down onto the edge of her bed.
When that happened, I lost my what if, and the rain clouds started pouring in. And Hallie, That was the worst raincoat I've ever had. When I realized that you and Natsuki didn't need me anymore, I started to feel so worthless, knowing the most important, special person I've ever known pretty soon would have no use for me. Well, the same goes, knowing Natsuki, my best friend in the club before you, probably wouldn't want anything to do with me anymore. All because I brought you to the literature club and blew it!
Sayori continues to cry, and I take a seat next to her. I'm getting choked up myself at this point. Nobody ever wakes up thinking they're going to hear this kind of stuff from their best friend. Sayori, please, don't say things like that. You are the furthest thing from useless to me as anything or anyone could be. I mean, who would I go to whenever I needed a good laugh or a big smile? Who would I go to when I'm feeling kinda lonely and want some company?
Natsuki. You have Natsuki now. Natsuki can do all those things for you and more.
I pause. I have trouble responding to this. She's right, to a very minimal extent, but she seems well beyond convinced at this point that she's lost all value as a human being. To the point where I struggle to find the right words to sway her thoughts in the other direction. Sayori, do you trust me? Sayori pauses for a few moments before looking at me and nodding her head yes. Then you need to trust me when I tell you this. You'll always be my dearest friend. You will always be one of the most important people in my life, and I would be crushed if I ever lost you somehow. Nobody, not Natsuki, not Yuri, and not Monica, could ever do or say anything to change my mind.
Holly, I need time to think. Can you please just leave me be for a little while?
I almost feel like I messed up, like I didn't say the right words, but as self-loathing thoughts start floating into my mind, Sayori speaks up once more.
Thank you.
Sayori then pulls me in for a hug, and I reciprocate. In a vacuum, this is a harmless platonic gesture, but something tells me that Natsuki would not be happy knowing what I'm doing right now. However, at this point, Natsuki's jealousy is far down on my list of concerns. My best friend needs my support, and I will give it to her however I can. The light seeps through the crack in my blinds to wake me from my blissful slumber. I try to remember if there's anything I'd planned to do today. Looking through my phone reveals that it is devoid of any notifications, proving that today was completely free. Perfect. I need to think of what I can do to occupy my day. Catch up on anime? Maybe start a new RPG? That's when I hear a light moan emanate from the small being lying next to me, and I remember. I have a girlfriend now. I consider slowly slipping out of my bed so as not to disturb her, but the second my feet touch the floor, the girl beside me rises like a phoenix from the ashes. Good morning, Nats. Groggily, Natsuki replies to me.
What did I tell you about nicknames, Holly?
To stick to your real name?
And what did you do?
Not that.
Now say you're sorry.
I really don't know why I'm relenting to her, but she seems to be getting entertained by this all the same. I apologize, mistress.
Good boy. Now lift me from the bed and place me to my noble feet upon the ground.
Natsuki scoots over closer to the edge of the bed, and I place my arms underneath her shoulders and knees to lift her up, and I keep her there.
Hey, I said place me to my feet, peasant!
I start to spin around, and that causes Natsuki to let out several adorable laughs, persuading me to continue. Any bit of grogginess Natsuki had has now left her by this point. I think not. Natsuki continues to laugh uncontrollably, while now lightly swinging at me with what reach she can manage.
Holly, let me down!
Alright, if you insist. I cease spinning and catch my balance, noticing I've gotten myself a bit dizzy. Then, instead of spinning, I begin to rock Natsuki aggressively back and forth and start counting. 1,
Holly!
2,
Holly, don't you dare!
3! I toss Natsuki and she lands comfortably in her spot on the bed, which she had previously occupied.
You're such a jerk, you dummy!
Her words are marginally malicious, but she has the biggest smile on her face, as well as the most endearing blushed cheeks one can imagine. I don't know why I waited so long to pick her up and throw her like that. She's so little and fun to toss around. Natsuki regains her composure for a few moments before standing up by herself.
What time even is it?
About 9:30.
Sounds like breakfast time to me. I'm just gonna brush my teeth and then I'll get started on the food.
Sounds like a plan. I'm just gonna remake the bed real fast after what you did to it.
Excuse me? Who picked up and threw hell onto the bed?
That's beside the point. You were tossing and turning all night, and the sheets came loose, and you also hogged the blankets and kicked pillows onto the floor. Instead of fighting back, Natsuki looks down at the ground despondently.
I'm sorry. I just had another bad dream.
Oh no. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to be rude. Was it another dream about your...
No, not this time.
I prepared to ask what this dream was about, but she doesn't grant me the opportunity.
Well, I'll see you downstairs in a few minutes.
Yeah, sure thing. Once I finish making the bed and Natsuki gets out of the bathroom, I take the opportunity to brush my teeth. With that done, I go downstairs to see Natsuki working on another delightful breakfast. She's cracking eggs and dropping them into a skillet. I notice that she has a little pep in her step. It seems she's moved past the bad dream at least somewhat. That said, though, I want her to be more open with me and let me know when things aren't going well for her. And I believe that she knows that's what I meant or wants to do. I wonder if I should ask her about it for the sake of consistency in our relationship, or if I should let it go. I decide to... Forget about it. Why would we bond?
Do you want your eggs prepared a certain way or anything?
No, it's fine. You can just make them how you usually do.
I like how you say that.
How I say what?
How you usually do. Just reminds me how crazy it is, or still is, that we're living together.
Yeah, it sure is crazy how we got together just off screen. Yeah, I guess it is still kind of weird, huh?
But not in a bad way, though, right?
Obviously not, Knots. I love you.
I love you too when you're not giving me dumb nicknames.
Tell you what, I'll stop calling you Knots, but instead I'll call you Cupcake.
Knots the name, don't wear it out.
That's what I thought.
Whatever, dummy, it's not my fault your nickname game is crappy.
After Natsuki and I finish our breakfasts, she takes my dish and silverware to the sink along with her own and starts to wash them. I consistently tell Natsuki to let me help her clean up, but she always insists that it's the least she can do. Considering I'm letting her live with me and that it's not much to clean up anyhow. That in mind, though, I feel bad that she's always doing all the work around here, especially since it's still my house. I think I ought to treat her tonight. I guess I'll take her. Somewhere fun sounds like the Natsuki thing, so I'll pick this one. Sitting on the couch, Natsuki, having just finished the dishes, comes over and sits right beside me, then buries her head into my chest. While she's there, I put my fingers through her hair and play with it a little, making her giggle angelically.
No one else in the world is allowed to see me like this, I hope you know that.
I'm glad about that. You're my special gift. I see a big bright smile take shape on Natsuki's face as I look down at her from above. It seems Natsuki has had a slight misunderstanding. A few hours ago, I told Natsuki that I was going to take her out to eat since I wanted to show that I appreciate all the work that she does for the house. She likely had the notion that that meant taking her to a 5-star joint downtown, and blowing my entire savings on 2 steaks and dessert. Sounds right. I could tell how anxious she looked on the way to our destination. She seemed overwhelmed at the prospect of dining in such a luxurious place, which is why when we walked up to her favorite hole-in-the-wall ramen shop only a few blocks away from my house... Something's wrong there. She looks quite giddy and relieved. This is a place we always pass on our way home from school, and Natsuki never fails to point it out. Well, sometimes she points it out. Other times, her stomach begins grumbling at the mere sight of the place, leading me to believe she really wants to go.
Oh yes, thank you for bringing me here, Hallie. I haven't gotten to eat here since I was like 7.
Don't mention it, Knots. I've had a craving for a while. If I'm being honest, I chose this place more for me anyway. I have a snide look on my face while she's saying this, so Natsuki can realize I'm just messing with her. She seems to catch on to the joke, and she retaliates. Unfortunately, Natsuki's the type of girl whose idea of a snarky comeback is a way too hard punch in the shoulder. Ow, not cool. Natsuki has a nervous expression on her face, looking conflicted on whether to apologize or keep the act going. She goes with the latter.
If you let the punchable 4'11" girl be the death of you, then I think you're the uncool one here.
Keep that up, and you're paying for your tonkatsu.
I want to show you anyway.
Natsuki lets out a heavenly giggle, and I laugh back as we reach the front of the line. I order 2 bowls of shoyu ramen for Natsuki and me.
Extra spicy for me.
You sure you can handle that?
I can handle it. Question is, can you handle me handling it?
I genuinely have no idea what she means by that, but I answer anyway. You better believe it. After we place our orders, Natsuki and I pick a table for 2 with a scenic view out of the window. Unfortunately, the only scenery to speak of is street signs and the occasional bus driving down the road.
I'm surprised it's not busier at this time of day. You'd think there'd be a dinner rush on a Saturday afternoon.
You mean a lunch rush? Seems like there would be, but I'm not complaining.
Oh yeah, me either, but it kinda bums me out at the same time.
Me neither.
This place deserves more recognition.
It's pretty small and hidden. I like that about it, to be honest.
You're right, there aren't as many uncultured swine coming in and taking all the ramen for themselves.
Oh, and since when were you this town's resident ramen connoisseur?
Since forever! Not that I have to explain myself to you.
「
Not that I have to explain myself to you.
Didn't you just say you haven't come here, come her since you were a kid? I think you're a scummy little liar if I say so myself. I make this joke ready for a clapback, but Natsuki looks down at her lap unexpectedly. Did I strike a nerve or something? Shoot. Sorry, I didn't mean it, honest.
Huh? Oh no, I don't care. I'm just trying to remember the last time I got to eat at this place. It was me and my dad. And my mom. I think it was about a year before...
Natsuki pauses, understandably.
We came here and they let me get anything I wanted. That might have been the last time I've gotten to go somewhere to eat. I remember, 2 years after the accident, I asked my dad if he could come back or come here to eat. He snapped at me, saying that I was being an ungrateful brat and that he wasn't made of money.
I'm pretty sure it's ingrateful, but I can't remember if ungrateful is also too. It's hard to listen to this, but the more Natsuki opens up, the better it'll be for building a trust-based relationship.
I didn't understand why he got so angry. I was just a little girl who had a craving for ramen. And I guess I've just had that craving ever since. I just wanted to have a chance to escape the depressing monotony of everything we'd been going through. But I guess he just never felt like doing the same.
I have a feeling we aren't talking about ramen anymore. Suddenly the air between us is heavy. Natsuki has opened up to me about her family history recently. While it's still hard for her to talk about at great length, it's good that she's making progress. It's still hard to fully wrap my head around everything she's been through. I try to keep the topic alive while not directly addressing the elephant in the room.